What if one of the greatest emperors in history secretly wrote a private journal of wisdom, resilience, and self-mastery, and that journal survived nearly 2,000 years? That's exactly what Meditations by Marcus Aurelius is, the personal reflections of a Roman emperor, never intended for publication, yet one of the most powerful guides to life ever written. This book is not about politics or conquest, it's about how to live, how to think, and how to remain strong in a world filled with uncertainty and chaos. Marcus Aurelius, often called the philosopher king, ruled Rome at the height of its power, yet instead of indulgence and arrogance, he practiced humility and deep reflection. His notes, preserved as meditations, reveal profound truths about human nature, leadership, suffering, and virtue. In this video, we will spend the next 2 hours exploring the lessons, facts, and timeless knowledge Marcus left behind. Let's begin with perhaps the most central teaching, control of the mind. Marcus believed that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we interpret and respond to them. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the foundation of Stoic philosophy. Life constantly throws challenges, betrayal, loss, failure, but Marcus reminds us that nothing can harm us unless we allow it to penetrate our mind. The mind is the fortress, and mastering it is the key to freedom. Another vital lesson is the acceptance of impermanence. Marcus was constantly aware that life, wealth, fame, and even empires are temporary. He wrote, "Everything we see is a change of form, just as you yourself are subject to continuous transformation." This awareness of mortality is not depressing, it is liberating. It reminds us to focus not on chasing what fades, but on living with virtue and purpose. By remembering that our time is short, we learn to live fully, intentionally, and without regret. A third principle deeply embedded in Meditations is living in the present. Marcus warns against being dragged by regrets of the past or anxieties of the future. He says, confine yourself to the present. When we let go of the weight of time and focus on the moment we're in, we discover peace and clarity. It is in the present where action happens, where growth is possible, and where life is truly lived. Marcus also stressed the importance of virtue over pleasure. Unlike many rulers, he did not chase luxury or endless indulgence. He believed that the highest good is to live in accordance with nature, to be just, disciplined, courageous, and wise. Virtue, not wealth or power, is what defines the quality of a human being. For Marcus, living virtuously meant being kind, fair, and truthful, even when no one was watching. Another lesson we learn is the inevitability of suffering and hardship. Marcus never sugarcoats life, he acknowledges pain, illness, betrayal, and loss. But instead of resisting them, he teaches us to endure them with dignity. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. By reframing suffering, we build resilience. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen the soul. Marcus's writings also provide guidance on leadership and responsibility. As emperor, he had absolute power, but he constantly reminded himself to stay humble and to serve others. He warned against arrogance and corruption, and instead urged leaders to see themselves as guardians of the people. Leadership, according to Marcus, is about service, justice, and self-restraint. These lessons apply not only to emperors, but to anyone leading a family, a team, or a community. A fascinating fact about Meditations is that Marcus never intended for it to be published. These writings were his private reminders, notes to himself. This makes them authentic, raw, and deeply personal. He wasn't writing for fame or approval, but for his own self-discipline. And yet, the very words he wrote in solitude now guide millions of people around the world. Another profound teaching is the interconnectedness of all people. Marcus often reflected on how humans are like limbs of the same body. To harm others is to harm ourselves. This Stoic idea fosters compassion and humility. He wrote, "What injures the hive, injures the bee." In today's divided world, this lesson reminds us that cooperation, kindness, and unity are essential for humanity's survival. Let's also explore his thoughts on death and mortality. Marcus faced war, plague, and loss during his reign, yet he approached death with calm acceptance. He often reminded himself, death is natural, part of the cycle, not to be feared. By embracing mortality, we strip life of its illusions and discover what really matters, how we live, not how long we live. The book also emphasizes self-discipline and simplicity. Marcus rejected excess, choosing a life of restraint despite his position as emperor. His philosophy encourages us to focus on essentials, to strip away distractions, and to live in harmony with nature. Happiness, he argued, comes not from abundance but from contentment. Beyond personal lessons, Meditations provides a framework for inner strength. Marcus constantly reminds himself to remain calm in adversity, to not let anger or resentment consume him, and to forgive others. His writings serve as a manual for resilience, teaching us to rise above chaos with reason and virtue as our compass. Throughout this journey, you will notice a common thread. Stoic philosophy is not abstract theory, it is practical wisdom. It's about how to face loss, how to wake up each morning with purpose, how to treat others, and how to face death without fear. That's why Marcus Aurelius remains as relevant today as he was in ancient Rome. As we explore Meditations in depth over the next 2 hours, reflect on how these lessons can shape your own life. Think of how controlling your mind, embracing impermanence, living in the present, and practicing virtue can transform your perspective. Remember, this book is not just to be read, but to be lived. Marcus Aurelius shows us that true greatness does not lie in ruling an empire, but in ruling oneself. And that is the eternal gift of Meditations. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below to let me know your thoughts, and thank you for being part of this journey through timeless wisdom.